Hi everyone, my name is Lalita Abhyankar. I just wanted to thank Akshaybhasha for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts today. I'm really excited for this discussion. I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting things that come out of this dialogue. I felt compelled to share my thoughts and experiences, so I kind of wrote something up because I was born and raised in the United States by parents who truly enjoy exploring and sharing the Marathi language. When I was younger, I was encouraged to respond in Marathi when someone spoke to me in Marathi, which was all the time at home, but also to reply in English when I was spoken to in English. If I used an English word in a sentence that was otherwise spoken in Marathi, the Marathi English dictionary would immediately be pulled out and all possible translations of the word would be offered. Growing up in an environment where my learning the language wasn't dependent on whether or not I showed interest in learning it allowed me to develop a comfort level and ownership of it. At home and with close family, I sometimes don't even realize that I can weave fluidly through both English and Marathi as though they are one language. Even then, I'd like to point out that I'm speaking only in English right now because my higher level communication is far more fluent in English than in Marathi, which is something that I've seen in other friends who speak one language at home, but their entire education and higher level education specifically is done in English. So it may be that the mastery of any language is when complicated concepts can be communicated effectively. So I can say that I have not mastered Marathi by any means. Um, but which also intrigues me when we talk about introducing the idea of native languages as second languages at the high school level. It's a fascinating topic to me, and I think it's definitely one worth exploring, especially when it comes to salvaging and preserving indigenous languages. An example that I came across when I was researching for this particular talk was the resurgence of the Hawaiian language in Hawaii, which was banned in 1898 after the United States annexed the island kingdom. Since then, since the 1980s, there has been a painstaking effort that has been made to really create immersion programs in the Hawaiian language. And now there is a resurgence of the language as well as the culture. Over 10,000 people speak the language fluently. And most recently, out of the immersion high school, there was a class that was graduated that that all of their lessons and everything like that were in Hawaiian. So this is a really remarkable thing. I believe in giving the opportunity to interested students to learn their language of origin. I think that it creates a sense of wholeness. I think that it creates this access point to the culture of your origin, as well as cultural context and tradition and family. And especially for those of us who are assimilating into a different culture, it gives us a sense of anchoring within our own identities. Um, this is especially true, I think, for Indigenous people as well as the children of immigrants like myself. However, since we are discussing this specifically in the context of Marathi, I kind of wanted to bring up a few thoughts that I've had. So for me, understanding and feeling comfortable speaking Marathi and making mistakes while learning specifically has given me a sense of closeness with my family and my culture, but I've sometimes come to question its relevance and its utility beyond that, to be completely honest. If a student chooses to learn Marathi as a second language, I have wondered, is that over a second language that might be more useful and widespread, like Spanish, which does have a sense of ubiquitousness. It's very integrated into popular culture. If they're not learning that language, is that student truly utilizing their public or private school education to the best of their ability? The other thought that I had as like a barrier to developing a love and appreciation for Marathi specifically is for those of us who are raised here, and potentially for many of my peers in India, Marathi isn't relatable. And this is really simply my perspective. If I go to any Marathi function, I mean, it feels like it's some of the same things over and over again. So you see something about Shivaji, who, is a 17th century Maratha king, as like, and seems to be some sort of a mascot for Marathi culture at this point. There's something about a Lavani because it kind of creates a sexy vibe for Marathi culture. Maybe some quips and jokes referencing Pula Deshpande, which, I mean, these are things again that they're not out of my cultural experience, and so it's difficult for me to relate to them. For the youth, there might be something about like Ganpati and Ganpati Bappa Moria, which you also see portrayed in like Hindi film these days. You might see some like Mawali dancing where everyone is talking about how jhakas everything is. I think my point is that it feels simultaneously like a dilution of Marathi culture as well as an iconification. Really, just these images that are used to kind of create a description of Marathi culture and how it is promoted throughout maybe India and the world. It makes me less likely to use the language outside of the cultural and family context, or to want to be interested in learning it for any other purpose. I think that overall, the option of learning your home language as a second language at the high school level is a really beautiful concept. And especially for someone like me, I think that learning Marathi and knowing Marathi really does give me a sense of anchoring in my identity and allows me to converse with my family members and access India and Maharashtra and Mumbai and all of these things in ways that I really would not be able to if I wasn't able to speak and understand Marathi as well as I do. But at the same time, I think Marathi kind of needs to rebrand itself as a developing language of progress and innovation with a youth and cultural relevance in order to really continue to grow, especially in the United States. So these are my thoughts as a child of immigrants who speaks Marathi, and I really would be interested to see in what everyone else is saying, and I wish I could be there to participate in the conversation. So thanks.